Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to show you how you can export the character we created so far from Blender to Unity. So in this process, you can export to whatever program you want. But as I know, so I am exporting in two different methods. The first method is you can export to any program you like, but in the second method, you have to make sure your program support the Blender file format and some other things also have to care about. So as you can see, I have my character and the armature of it. So I only have those objects. As you can see, I already deleted all the other components including the camera. So you have to make sure that and go to your mesh and make sure under modifiers you apply all of them except this armature modifier. So now you've done all of that, and go to your animation and select any animation you like. So I'm going to this a little and change the preferred position of your character to export. So let's go to layout again, select both of them and go to file, export FBX, then give the name and make sure under include you only select selected objects only, and if you have some other parts, so if you have some other objects in here, you have to make sure to enable this and active collection. Collection is this thing, so you can select that if you like, but it doesn't make any difference. So under here select armature and mesh only, and under here transform, make sure you have these settings as it is, because if you are using our previous version of Blender, a little bit older one like 2.8 or above, you might have to change these settings and go into under geometry. You can keep as it is, but under armature you have to make sure only the bones enabled and remove this untick this add leaf bones and make sure to enable this bake animation option. Once you've done that, select your location and hit export. So once you've done that, you can go to this toggle system console to check whether it's exported or not. As you can see here, my one is exported successfully. So you have to get rid of this by go again and toggle system console. Otherwise, if you close that window somehow, Blender will crash. So make sure to do that. So now let's go to method 2. So it's really simple, but you have to take care of something else. You have to make sure delete all the other things except these two objects. So as you can see, our mesh is under this armature, so that's why we can't see in here. So delete all the other things, then including camera, lights, all of them. Then go to file, save as, and change the location you want to save and hit save. So once you've done that, Blender part is over. So since the Blender part is over, we can go to the Unity and we can see how to import these characters to Unity. Alright, this is the folder I exported these files. As you can see, we have our blend file. So this is the blend file we saved later in the method 2, and we have this FBX file in the method 1, and I also have these textures we painted in the texture painting video. So make sure to grab those as well. So now we can go to Unity. But before that, if you are exporting in this Blender file in method 2, you have to make sure you have assigned this file format to the Blender. So you can check whether it's on here. You can see this icon, but if you're not sure, go to properties in Windows, but it might be a little bit different on your operating system if you're using something else. But you just have to assign this file format to your program. So in Windows we can change by open with. As you can see, I already have Blender, but if you don't, go to change and select the application you like. Application, you can select what you like and hit apply. It will apply to all the files. So once you're done, let's go to Unity. Alright, to start with Unity, you have to create a new project. To create a new project, you have to open Unity Hub. If you're using Unity 2.0 2019 or later version, but if you're using 2018 or above versions, you can use its own project manager. But in this case, I have to use this Unity Hub to create one. So if you open this, go on to Unity project, and also if you haven't already installed anything else, any version of Unity, you go to install and click this add button and select the version you like to install. So I recommend you to use this recommended release, so I already have that. So let's go to project and create new. Under this drop down menu, select the version you like, or just create new. It will create with the latest version of Unity. So once you've done that, it will load this things. Because I am in the offline, it doesn't show. So it doesn't matter. Go to 3D and give it a name and select your file location. So then create a new file and you're done. And it will take some time, and it will load up in a few minutes. So let's go back to So once you open Unity, you can see there's different sections in the layout. So there's a hierarchy, scene view, inspector, project actually the file manager, and the console, game view, and different things. So these are the main windows you can see in the layout. So if you don't have this, you might use the different layout. So it's a default layout I have right now. So go to default if you don't see this as it is. So it's first look at the hierarchy. Hierarchy is the object you can see in the scene. So as you can see, I only have a directional light and the main camera. So you can create new object, any object. So I'm gonna get 3D object. Let's say plane. So once you create this one, give it your name, and once I click in that, we can see right here we have this inspector showing every details about the object, and I can reset the position of this. Right, done. So in the game view, we can see the what's camera see in the basically what the main camera right now, main camera, but you can use a different. But game view, you can see the camera, and the file manager, you can see the files you have right now. So I only have this scenes folder. So and the scene is the scene I am open right now. So this is the scene for file. So you can create new if you like, create new scene, but I'm gonna start right here. So we don't have the files we are mentioned before, so I'm gonna just grab those. So once you can that, select all of them. You can just drag and drop into the Unity. So once you've done that, you can see our files are in this file manager or the project folder. So we have our files. So now you can just drag and drop these files to the scene if you like, but we have 2 files, so I'm going to rename those. This is the FBX file. It's actually Unity is converting this blend file to FBX file, so I'm going to using this FBX file we created in this video, but you can use either of them, so it doesn't matter, same thing. Alright, so once you rename this, so I'm gonna just grab and drop into the scene. I used the FBX file, but you can use either of them. So if I drag this blend file, you can see it's actually the same thing. So I'm gonna delete this blend file, and I'm gonna FBX reset properties position. So if you don't know how to move around, you can use middle mouse button and click to move like this around the scene, and right click and move your mouse up and down to use this sort of first person view. So you can use either way. So for the measurement, this is I think this is the standard human size. If you don't sure, you can create this capsule. So I'm gonna reset the properties of it, and I'm going to draw up a little bit there. So our character is a little bit larger. So best way to resize it, so go to the this FBX file in the project folder, then go to model, the scale factor. So I'm going to reduce this about 0.7. And I think I have applied. That's a little bit sorry, 6.5. So I'm gonna just delete this capsule right now. So since our character is like this, I'm gonna create an empty object. So I'm gonna layer, and I'm gonna grab and use this as a parent object to our FBX file. So I'm gonna select this guy. Right. Now we need to create a animation controller. So I'm gonna right click in the project folder, create and animation controller. So let's delete this blend.1 file, .blend1 file, so we don't need this. So you can also delete this blend file if you like. So I'm gonna click in this Animator controller, so it will open up this window. So we use Animator controller to switch between the animation. Right, let's create a new light. A light. I'm gonna use a point light so we can see our character a little bit clearly. So once you go to the Animator, you can use this arrow to show all the sub content in this FBX file. So make sure you use this file you used before, blend file of FBX file. So I'm gonna just grab this animation to this Animator controller. Alright, we have all the animations. So now So under here we need to create this animator component, animator component to this player game object. So I'm gonna use this controller to this player controller avatar. So we can't see any avatars, right? Alright, this might be because rig. Go to the tutorial FBX file. So I'm going to use create from this model. So avatar definition. Create from this model. I'm going to just apply. So let's go to display again. Now we can see our avatar. Select that. So there's an entry point. So entry point is where is the animation process started. So entry point, I straight go to the idle animation. Then we have any state. We are not going to worry about right now. Then we have walk animation and run animation. So if I go to here, the scene view, and if I go to game view, we can see our character clearly. So I'm gonna use this main camera. I'm going to let's I'm gonna reset. Right. I'm going to play FBX. We have to reset this as well. So player, reset this one. Reset all the components, all the transformations of this player game object, and reset all the transformation of this FBX file as well. So I'm going to player, and if I think I play, so game view, main camera. Right, I'm going to reset on, and down here you can see the camera view, but I need this in the front. So let's go to this top view, and I'm going to use this one. If you go to game view, you can see the clear view of our character. So let's go to hit play. So once you can see that it did the animation once, then stopped. So we also have some error messages around down here. So let's go to our FBX file again. Let's go to animations. Down here we have our 3 animations. So I'm gonna just enable this loop time in all the animations, and let's hit apply. Animator, we can see our idle animation, run, and walk animation. So entry point is where the animation process start. Then let's go to idle animation. So we go to idle animation, and if I hit play, you can see our idle animation playing. So it's looping over and over because but it doesn't move to this run or walk animation. So what we're going to do is we need to move to this one from this one, or this one from this one, and again this one from this one, because if you have played games you can see this idle animation playing, and when you start to walk, there's the walk animation also playing. And if you straight away go to run, the run animation or jump or whatever animation it says. So it's usually idle is the default animation when you're doing nothing in a video game. So right now our character is doing nothing, so that's why it's idle animation playing. But it's a little bit faster in my opinion. So I'm gonna stop this one. Let's go to Animator, select this animation. So I'm gonna write speed to 0.2. Done. Then I'm going to create this under here you can see this layers and parameters. So let's go to parameters, and I'm going to create a new one, and in this case I'm going to use this float. So it's a float, is actually a number which has decimal points. So in this case we are using this parameter. I'm going to use this as a speed. So when we use this on, it indicates that which speed we are running. So and default it's the 0. So I'm not going to program it right now, but this floating point number indicates how much speed of a character right now in animation, not movement. In animation, then if at some point, if this value is greater than this, it's go to this animation, because that's how it works. Because your movement speed is 0, you do nothing, but it's about 0.1, you start to walk, and about, I say, 0.5, 10, we go to the run animation. So that's that's the way I'm going to animate this character. So there's a lot of ways, so I'm going to use this speed parameter to switch between these animations. So you can click this idle animation, right click, make transition, and click this one. So from this animation to this animation, when we click this right here, you can see down here we have this exit time X, because alright, so I'm gonna make another transition from this one to this one, and I'm gonna click here. I don't have any transition, and remove this has exit time, because otherwise it will play a whole animation, then go to this one. That's not what we want right now. So let's clear this idle animation to this walk animation transition. Click right here, and under you can see here is condition. So condition is this speed factor. So let's create a new condition. It's automatically select the speed, because only that's we have. So I'm going to write 0.1 speed. If we jump up to 0.1 speed, it will go from idle animation to walk animation. Then let's create a new condition. If our speed is less than 0.1, it's not greater, let's go to less. So here it's greater than 0.1, we go to walk animation. It is less than 0.1, we go from walk animation to idle animation. So we are going to use the same method for walk to run, run to walk, and go to run to idle, and run to idle to run. So I am only using 3 animations, but if you are going to use more, it's become complicated. So there are other ways to use this animation, but for simplicity I'm gonna use this as the method. So let's go to this run animation. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to say, let's say 10. If less than 10, we go from run to walk, and it's greater than 10, we go from walk to run. So let's see, then same to right here as well, from greater than 10, from idle to run, and less than 10, we go from run to idle. So I think I did things right. If not, I can just remove this transition from this idle to run, all this, but even we remove this, I think it's totally fine. So let's hit play. So I'm gonna dock this to, no, I'm gonna dock this game view to right here because we have to see this clearly. So when I hit play, it's in the idle animation, and I say 2, we go to the walk animation, then I hit 15, I go into the run animation. It's weird because our speeds are not, animation speeds are not set yet, that's because that. So let's set those, and we have to remove this it has exit time, so I'm gonna remove from everyone. If I set 1, so it still go to this let's say 0.1, so it's still right in this idle range because it is not greater than 0.1. So if I say 0.2, it's go to this walk animation right here. So because that value is greater than 0.1, that is the condition we used before. So let's say if I use 10, so it's still in the walk animation, but it's when they come greater than 1, it's go to this run animation. So that's the way it's going to work. You can see the way you can use this animation inside Unity. So this is not programming, this is just we set up the conditions only. So next video I'm going to show you how to make a play controller, and I'm going to show you how you can change this value through a script. This is the end of the video, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video with some coding. So if you like to see it sooner, so make sure to subscribe and share with your friends and all the stuff, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.